This is the fourth video in my recap series for the Stormlight Archive, starting with The Way of Kings, and in this video we're going to talk about the first three interludes. So for our first interlude, we meet a character named Ishik, and he is at a place called the Pure Lake. This is a region pretty much where like water is just everywhere, like even inside buildings, people just walk around barefoot. It's like a fisherman's society, and they also, have their shoulders out to the sun. They really embrace nature, and he is about to meet some foreigners. Now, when I first read this, I didn't really know what to make of this interlude, and I didn't really care much. Frankly, I just wanted to get back to reading about Kaladin. But now, in retrospect, we know that these foreigners say that they're looking for Hoyd, and we know who Hoyd is. They're saying, where is that wanderer, is what they call him, and they tell, Ishik he could be wearing disguises, but Ishik tells them, no, he hasn't found him yet. And they like bicker amongst themselves, and they're like, this is a waste of time. And Ishik is thinking, yeah, it is, but they keep paying him to look for him, to no avail so far. And I also wanted to add some little tidbits because, we don't know what might pop up later. But apparently, the Pure Lake used to be called Sela Tales when it was conquered by a king in the past, when it was one of the Epoch kingdoms. But Ishik in his mind says, I've always been a Pure Laker. This is the Pure Lake. And then a little like cultural quirk is that they worship New Ralik, but out loud, like when they're talking amongst themselves, they pretend to worship Vun Kakak, who is New Relic's younger brother, who gets like vengeful and jealous. So they have to pretend, that they are worshiping the younger brother. That's just a fun quirk of their people. But yeah, that's our first mention of Hoyd. So in the second interlude, we learn a little bit more about Shallan's brothers, and none of it is good. Non Balat, Non is just like a designation for the oldest sibling, likes to pull the legs off of little creatures. One of the brothers has like a gambling slash alcohol addiction, and the other one has depression. And this all is attributed to, at least in Non Balat's mind, to their father, because apparently their father was very angry and abusive to them. So, good riddance. None of us are sad that he's dead, but they are in this hot water trying to figure stuff out. This is apparently 6 months after Shallan left, and they did just get word that she succeeded in becoming Yasna's ward. So that's good. But this chapter does end with one of the brothers coming up to Non Balat and saying, we have a problem. And he's like, how big of a problem? He's like, pretty big. But we do not know what this problem is yet. And then the third and final interlude is Szeth. What has he been doing after being an assassin? Apparently, he was just cast aside by the Parshendi, and he has been bounced around between different masters that have held what we now know is called his Oath Stone. His current one is just some like boastful drunk that goes from tavern to tavern and tells these like embellished stories and, brags about having Szeth, this Shin who will just do anything you tell him to do. At the end of this interlude, his current master is killed, and Szeth he's like oath bound to tell them that they have his oath stone. And, he's like, I'll have to do whatever you tell me. And the guy's like, whatever I tell you? And Szeth says yes. And that's where we end it. And now we move on to part two, where we have Dalinar, Adolin, and Kaladin POVs.